Well, good afternoon everyone, and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now today's I've got one of those jobs I like doing, but I don't like doing, if you know what I mean, and that is splitting this this Phragmipedium Olaf Gross. It's getting far too crammed in this pot. The pot's plenty big enough, but the roots or the new growths are growing that close to each other. It's just jammed up. There's a few leaves going bad. There's a little bit of spider mite on one or two tips. So I'm just going to split it up. Take it out of its pot the usual way, you know, by giving it a good squeeze. I can see a bit of rot down here as well. So let's see if we can get it out. All the labels there. Yeah, there we are. The roots don't look too badly. There's one or two new growth tips on them, but they'll just have to be split down. So what I'll have to do, I'll have to get hold of these roots and tease them apart so I can get all the compost out and then give it a good clean up. But I'll not keep the camera rolling while I'm doing this, so I'll switch it off and I'll show you when it's done. You see, one of the main difficulties that I have in splitting this Phragmipedium that's got finer roots than normal is that the roots are now growing through the bark, as you can see on this piece here. So I'm having to try and separate all the pieces without doing too much damage. So that's a problem with the roots growing through the bark and the bark all being compacted together, and it makes it difficult to split up. Well, I think that's about as much as I can do on this. Very, very difficult to split. I've been on it about 40 minutes and we've got to here. I can't do anything more with the roots, but I think it's the best thing now to just split the plant and see how it goes. You can see what I mean with it all growing. I'll turn it round. It's just where to split it. I don't know whether to split it and make probably 3 plants out of it, or split it a little more and make half a dozen smaller plants to grow on, because they'll be flowering in another 18 months. So I'll just leave it for the time being now, and then I'll show you what I've done. I'm afraid I'll have to use the trusted saw again for splitting, and you see when I'll just saw through there. It won't take much, this. Probably damage one or two roots, but they'll grow again. Not coming yet. Do a little bit more sewing. There we are. That's cut, that just needs separating somehow. Just keep working it, and it'll generally come apart. But it looks like I'll have to sew all the way through this one. Yep. I know it looks like I'm treating it a little bit rough, but it'll come back. Look at all them roots. They're all joined together. You know, one plant joined to that, that's joined out to that, and they're all joined to this. So I'll just try and see. There's one root, look. Just joined together from everything. Well, they're all done now, they're all split up, and I'll just show you what we've got left, and then the only thing you have to do is repot them and let them grow on. but I'll just show them you. Two, three, four, five, and six. So I might say that's improved my stock a little bit. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Olaf grosses now instead of 1. So I'll just pop them all up now and we'll have a look at them when that's done. Well, that's all 6 of them potted up, and I've nothing to do with them now, only make some labels out for them, put the dates on the labels, and give them a good watering. So we'll just have a quick look at them again. This is one with nice growths on it. This is another small one with 3 growths on it. That one's got 3 large growths on it. That one's a 2 growth one. That one's a 4 growth one. And this one is 1, 2, 3 growths. So they should be fine. They should be fine. Hopefully in a couple of months they'll have settled in and they start showing a bit of growth. But it'll give them that long to settle down. It's like when you buy plants, you can't expect them to start growing straight away. They've got to adapt to the conditions you give them. And it's same when you split them. Okay, we've got in the right conditions, but they're not used to being apart from the brothers and sisters, so they have to get used to that. Anyhow, that's all I can do today, so thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.